Good morning, Year 2, and welcome back to English. Fingers crossed my voice is in time with my mouth this time and that you can understand what I'm saying. So today we're going to use our bee research that you did yesterday to make fact files. You did brilliantly yesterday. I learned so much from you and from those links all about bees, and I hope you found it interesting and you managed to answer your questions. So to make a fact file, the first thing we need is a catchy title, and then we need some subheadings. Take a minute, think back to when we learned about moths. Can you remember what a subheading is and why we use one? So we use them in non-fiction writing. Can you remember why I would use a subheading? Brilliant. Hopefully you remembered that we use subheadings as little mini titles in our non-fiction work to let the reader know what they're about to read about and to make it easy for them to skim through and see where the information they want is. So let's take a look at what subheadings we could use today.
Okay, like I said, the first thing we need is a title. Now, I wanted my title to be interesting, to make readers want to read it, but also tell them what it's about. So I settled on Buzzy Bees. I thought that sounded quite nice. You've got the B and the B together, alliterating Buzzy Bees. So they know it's about bees, but also they might think it'll be a bit interesting, which hopefully it will. The next thing we need is subheadings. So I've gone for 5 subheadings, so let's talk through them. So I found out lots of information when I was researching about bees, about where they live. I found they live in hives and that they have these hives inside hollow trees and rocks, but that these are being destroyed when people are building houses and buildings. So I decided I wanted to do a whole bit about that, and I've called it habitat. And hopefully you remember from geography and science that habitat is the name we call the area that animals live in. So that's where I'm going to write about that. Next, I found out lots of information. In my already knew section, I'd written that I knew they were yellow and black with stripes, and I knew they had a stinger and that they had wings. And then when I did my research, I found out they have 4 wings and 6 legs. So I know a lot about what they look like. And if we remember back to when we learned about moths, that's called appearance. So I'm going to do a whole section about what bees look like. And some of you as well found out about lots of different types of bees, so maybe that's where you could write about that. Or you might change it and have a subheading called types of bees, whatever you want. So next, I'm going to write about their life cycle. I'm going to use that soft C word cycle to write about how they start as an egg and all the process to end up as a bee. Now what I might do, because it's a lot of writing, to break it up is I might draw the life cycle here with arrows and show it happening, so that as well as all the writing there's a bit of picture as well. And then I thought I would just have a section called Fun Facts, because I found out so much interesting stuff about bees I don't want to go missing from my fact file. So I'm going to do a Fun Facts section, and I might make it look pretty with bullet points and maybe some colours as well. Now, what lots of you found out, and I talked about a bit in the video, is why bees are important, and I really wanted to include this in my fact file because, well, it's really important. I think I was very shocked to find out all the different foods that bees help us produce, and without them, we might not have these foods like tomatoes, broccoli, avocado, and even some of you found ice cream. So if all the bees died out, if all their habitats were destroyed, we wouldn't have any ice cream. And I can't think of anything worse. So I'm going to do a whole fun bit here about why bees are important, and I've put it in a bubble to show that it's important and to catch the reader's attention, because I really want them to read that part of my fact file. So you can lay this out however you would like, as long as you have a catchy title and some subheadings. It doesn't need to be more than a page unless you really want to do more than a page. And I've laid it out a bit like a poster. If you'd like to use my subheadings, you can. But I'd also like you to try and think of some of your own as a challenge. So if you want to use mine, if the information matches up, you can. But if you found different information, such as types of bees, and you think you want to change one, that's also fine. So I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to see the fact files you come up with so I can learn even more about these buzzy bees.